like a ring. I don't know.
Oh, just a very accurate description of what an atoll is.
I was just out on it. 2 atolls. And people made not at all jokes, definitely.
Nice.
More than once, which was too much.
Oh, I thought I was being original.
I can assure you, you were not. The lead up to it was fairly original. I will give you that.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how else to like incorporate that phrase into
Yeah, right.
an island reference.
I'm surprised no one's said anything about, like when we describe organisms being very Pacific.
Very Pacific?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I've not heard that.
No, like when you're a kid and you can't get specific and Pacific sorted out.
Okay.
I don't think I ever had that problem.
Really? Oh. Maybe that was just me.
I don't think I worried too much about the Pacific when I was really little.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, it was just some big ocean somewhere on the other side of the world. I wasn't concerned with it in 2nd grade. Definitely got a couple vocab, like spelling tests wrong.
That was after you tried dirt.
That was, yeah, that was,
Okay.
what was that, 20th birthday?
No, you said when you were 3.
Yeah, or a couple weeks ago.
Got it.
One or the other.
Yeah. This is the dirt at the bottom of the bucket you put pickles in.
Yes.
What is that? What
What?
we're seeing? Do you think it's something
On Argus
In the sonar or
or
Argus?
on the sonar?
No, that's rocks.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry. Dismissed.
How does NASA put together a party?
They plan it.
Oh. I like that.
Where did I read that? Is that I read that somewhere.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I just remember someone said it on last cruise. Yeah, I stole that from Alicia.
Reminds me of your TV show Round Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Best name ever.
What was that?
We were talking about the documentary series on Netflix, Round Planet.
Oh, yeah.
And they just use like all these outtakes from...
Wait, was this last watch that we talked about this?
I think so.
Right, we all talked about this? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
that was 2 watches ago, I think.
Was it?
It was when we were recovering.
It was on watch, though. So I think we all, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's this big.
It's interesting.
Just out of view.
Yeah.
Yay, some more rocks.
I'm glad I finally saw something on the side scan that looked like diagonal.
Yeah.
So it was really, I was like trying to wrap my head around
Yeah.
it.
It does happen.
Whoa.
It's some ridge line.
Yeah. It's a cool shape.
Yeah.
It's like a ghost carrying a baby ghost. Right?
I got the ghost, but you lost me at carrying. I didn't,
The little baby ghost.
It's like an
here.
ultrasound.
like carrying it, like.
Yeah, carrying
Like that's
the
the
baby.
head.
It's Marge Simpson
Yep.
That's her hair.
Yeah.
That's her chin.
with
That's
Yep.
her nose.
the baby.
Yep.
Right?
We're all seeing the same things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Go team. We
Remember
all
on-
went crazy at the same time.
On the last expedition, the Argus pilot Kylie and I both saw a coral, and she said it first, but we both had the thought that looks exactly like a toilet brush.
Who was not very happy with your assessment of what the beautiful coral looked like?
Who wasn't happy?
One of the scientists.
I don't
probably.
know. Yeah, I think it might have been Jamie.
Wow.
She said something like,
Oh, the poor coral.
yeah, it was like, oh, that is a beautiful coral. Like, it does not look like a toilet brush.
I could hear her saying that.
It was a gold coral.
Oh, is that the golden sounding then?
No, I zoomed all the way out and still couldn't see what that was toggling. I have no idea.
Maybe that's the oil slick from the plane.
Anyway.
No, it's not.
It is a pretty
No.
long feature,
Yeah, it's a
though.
long, windy.
Cool.
Now that you've got that out of your system.
It's not out of our system yet. I just told Devin that she recorded a whole bunch of bad jokes.
Oh, no.
Because this camera that's facing us also has audio.
That could be like in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Joke by Rebecca's dad.
Like chit-chatting.
You can.
We have another joke from our followers.
Go for it.
Two hydrogen atoms walk into a bar, and one says, "Oh my God, I just lost an electron." The other says, "Oh no, are you sure?" And the first replies, "Am I sure? I'm positive."
Oh,
I've heard that one before.
There's one that's similar as two guys walk into a bar. One goes up and goes, "Hey, can I have some H2O?" Bartender gives it to him. The second guy says, "Can I have some H2O too?" The second guy dies.
I like that one.
I've heard that one before, too.
Yeah, there should be a rule that you should have to make up the jokes that you tell.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Kind of.
It's
He'll
hard.
come up with the little kid jokes like that make no sense.
Jokes have been going on for thousands of years. I'm sorry if it's hard to come up with a new one. Is this a watch or a giant roast session? Yes, you can borrow my pen.
Thank you.
The nav people used to steal all the ROV pens, so they used to be labeled with little label makers that said ROV.
I've got a collection of 5 over here.
That's
ROV pens?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
That's a very ROV team thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Label the pens.
Sounds like a Bob thing. Labeling pens.
I don't know. It's possible.
Just take out the ink stick and replace it. Close to another turn.
Should we decide, we're turning down Like way down?
Yeah.
Yeah. This will be it'd be a good one.
We might leave this nice sandy boringness.
She'll be a doozy.
So why do sharks swim in salt water?
I don't know why.
Because pepper water makes them sneeze. You see that? I found it really funny.
This is very early on the cruise. If this is the level that we're at already.
It's a short cruise, though.
We should wait for
That's right,
next
yeah.
shift.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're maxing out on jokes. We're using all the good ones early.
Thank you so much to everyone that is following us and sending some jokes.
How about everyone's best dad joke? Dad jokes are a very specific breed.
I think I know any.
A lot of them are situational, you know? Like the classic, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry, I'm dad.
You're gonna be a great father, Chris.
I don't know about that. My sister has a list. It's like up to like 1,040 different reasons why Chris should never be a father. It's usually related to stuff like that.
How long ago did she start that list?
Oh,
Yeah, I should have her send
a
that to
while
us.
ago.
So what is the coolest thing everyone has seen underwater?
Gulper eel.
Today?
And bacterial
or-
bats.
No,
Oh,
in
not today.
general.
Sea cucumber.
No.
Sea cucumber.
My first dive ever on Nautilus was the one where we found the octopus garden, where there's the thousands of brooding
Oh, yeah.
octopuses.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
That's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah.
And a lot of these highlights are on the Nautilus YouTube channel, if I'm correct. So
Yes.
anyone can go to Nautilus Live on YouTube and pick out these scenes that we're talking about. It's pretty spectacular.
That's so awesome.
A couple years ago, I was back home boating off at Chatham, and we saw the boat that was out tagging the great whites, and we could see the camera crews on board. They were clearly filming for Shark Week, and one of the guys went out on the pulpit, out the long walk out on the bow where they stand when they put the tags in. And we were just sitting off a little bit because they were surrounded by, they had like environmental police making sure no one got too close, because you didn't want to either mess up their tagging or disturb the sharks. And so we were sitting off watching, and they put the tag in, and immediately the shark turned around and whipped out of the water, like up at the guy who tagged it. So we just saw this large shark whip out of the water. And I think the clip got into like the next year's Shark Week. And we were just like sitting off in the background somewhere. So that was pretty cool.
That's so cool. I think the coolest thing I've seen underwater was one day there was, I don't know, there were more than 100 eagle rays
Wow.
swimming there in the Galapagos, one island that's called North Seymour. They were all different sizes, so there were like the baby ones and the big ones, and they were all like flying in the water, like in such synchronicity that it was like poetry.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. I was almost crying in my mask. It was awesome.
So when we get to the end of this line, we're going back down south.
Yep.
I have a target out here that's about 50 meters off. Is there a certain distance you want me to sit to get a good scan of this transit, or?
Well, I figure so. We kind of have coverage on every other turn because of the way we do it. So we're missing, for example, where it says change survey, we don't have coverage between those lines. So I had thought that it would be cool to go out further to the west, but that's going to give us big gaps between. So maybe just cut straight down between where we've already surveyed, and since it was on a turn anyway, it's probably not going to be that great. So maybe just go kind of where your cursor is and straight south-southeast from there.
Yeah, so if I have this target up here,
Yeah.
So if we check the swing a little bit, by the time, it won't be great as it comes around, but we'll probably have enough time for Argus to start streaming by the time we get down towards.
Yeah, and I'd
change
make
survey.
make it like 100 meters off of the end of those lines, so that it's similar to the coverage that we're getting between lines.
Roger that.
And this should be going upslope, right?
Yes.
So how did you guys end up here on the Nautilus? Do you have any advice for students that are interested in this kind of work?
Well, there's a lot of different paths you can take, because we have engineers, we have navigators, some that come to the military, some that don't. We have tons of scientists. Yep. I studied filmmaking, so I think the trick is to just have an interest in biology and marine biology and
Exploration in the unknown, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, build up your resume with science and engineering related activities or jobs, and then you can apply for internships if you're a student or a recent graduate, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, like I'm currently on an internship through the Coast Guard Academy that I'm attending currently. So it's just through our marine science program. And they offer it, Coast Guards and Naval Academy, for us to come out here as nav interns. Just we have a basic understanding of navigation through our classes. So we're able to pick up on it and learn from the navigators on board.
Yeah, I also started as an intern a number of years ago. They have an ROV engineering internship that's open to just students anywhere, and then I just kept coming out.
And how about you? I mean, coming on as a science communication fellow, do you know what the requirements are to come in on that role?
So I started following the Nautilus and the expeditions since the team visited the Galapagos Islands. And then as soon as I saw the opportunity to apply for the communication fellowship, I did it while I was doing my master's in California. And I didn't get it the first year. And I was so sad. So I did it again next year. And that's how I ended up being here.
Yeah, that's a really important point, I guess, that just because if you apply for something and you don't get it,
Yep.
it's probably worth trying again.
Yeah, totally. So if you really like something and you're interested in something, I would say don't take a no for an answer. Just keep trying.
And I think if you're interested in the internships, they're all posted on oceanexplorationtrust.org.
Yep.
But if you just Google Ocean Exploration Trust internships or Nautilus internships, should be able to find it.
Yeah.
Looks like the USBL is a little bit unhappy again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All over the place.
Is there a way to like reset that?
Well, it might just be that there's enough noise from the
Yeah.
thruster right now.
Yeah, no.
That's
without,
usually what happens.
Yeah, we're just at the mercy of the
Sure.
bow thrusters and jet pump.
Really, just plain sandy bottom here?
Yeah. Very different from what we saw back to the east.
Bridge now. We're going to continue after this line, and I'll call back to hold station on the selected target.
Seemed like that before too, right? That when the ship comes in this direction, the US it's more noisy.
Yeah, it sometimes happens.
Like what way is the wind or current? Is it
I mean,
more
I think
effort to come this
the
way?
wind changed a little bit, which is just making the bow thrusters work a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
And I must say that I refuse to talk about Aquaman, no matter how many messages we get about that.
Why is that?
I refuse to talk about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
To talk about what?
Aquaman.
Aquaman?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, let's talk about sea cucumbers and urchins.
It's probably coming up because that was a nickname that was given to me during
right.
last cruise.
All right. Because of your mutations.
Yeah, I have 3 fish spines in me and a partial underdeveloped gill. We got some good layback here, so it'll probably take a second to
Serious layback.
Yeah, understood.
catch up. We're looking at like 700 plus meters.
Yeah. You want to do your math again?
No, I'm good. Just doing the math, trying to figure out using Pythagorean's theorem of what
How much
how
depth
much
change?
cable we actually had versus like, yeah, if we swung, how much depth would change.
Well, yeah.
I think at 600 meters it was something between like 30 and 50. Either that or I can't do math right.
I can do it if I have a piece of paper. I can't do anything in my head anymore. I'm old now.
I mean, unless
Can
you
you square and square root like 3,381
Yeah.
on a piece of paper?
used to be able to.
I had a high school teacher who could do square roots in her head. I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
If they're like perfect squares, I can
No, they
do
weren't. I was like, I don't know. That's crazy.
it. Yeah. I'll refer back to what someone told me. It was like, oh, I know everything. And anything that I don't know, my brother knows. So you can ask me anything. Square roots are more his thing.
I mean, I had teachers that could estimate them pretty well, and I think they used the perfect squares as like kind
Yeah.
of the rough,
Right.
you know, and then they could figure out from there.
But even
But
that,
only for small numbers, you know.
I don't know above like 14 or 15, you know? Off the top of my head, I can obviously multiply them, but
So are we going to have them hold position or just go south?
I'm going to hold position because
Okay, yeah.
otherwise I think we're going to
Yeah.
drag sideways and miss the end
Check
of this
this.
line.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, thanks.
Oh, that was a good USPL
Whoa.
jump.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you guys say
Marcus,
we're
come back.
300 meters this way? I love to see the speed calculation on that. Like 700 miles an hour.
I forgot this thing has. I think you can do scientific calculator on this.
Oh, on your phone?
oh yeah, you
Turn
like
it the
turn
If you
it
turn it
sideways.
sideways.
You're gonna do the math.
Try.
I have a real calculator over here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, can I have
Yeah,
that?
It's the nav
navigators.
Use
calculator.
this stupid thing.
You should see if you can get to the, you know, you should at least be able to get to, okay, the
What
chain.
is it? 32? 3,300?
3,300. We have 3,385 meters of cable out.
Sometimes you have to hit the buttons pretty hard and wait a second.
We
It's-
we should put the problem out to the viewers as well, and then
Oh yeah.
we'll see if anybody can come
oh
up,
yeah,
come
we
up with
did
the right
that,
answer.
did that before. Okay, so let's just say
What's this distance?
What are we trying to calculate?
How much how much depth change we have when we swing.
I don't even know how to start that.
Okay, so we have
So we have 330,
3,385
What's the
3,385
distance between
meters of cable.
3,385 meters of cable. Get your pencils out.
3,303
So-
meters of depth.
yeah.
3,303 meters of depth. So that's your right angle and our triangle. Nope, that's not our right angle.
What?
The cable length is the
cable is the
hypotenuse.
hypotenuse.
Yeah, that's right.
And then if you want to use, you can use.
So you don't even need to do it because you can take the cable length and just subtract this from it.
Yeah, okay, that's no
Right.
fun.
That's not fun, I know. I was doing it the other way, without the cable length. So I was just making a triangle. O2. What's that horizontal distance? Those guys?
Our setback is currently about 650 meters.
Where's square root?
Of course, we're changing our numbers, so.
So if we were to stop the ship
Which we will
and
in a minute.
swing freely, which we
Oh,
won't
there it
do,
is.
To straight perpendicular.
to straight perpendicular,
How much?
Syntax error.
How much would we have to winch up to not hit the bottom?
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I think this is actually pretty simple.
Yeah, you just
Oh, yes, it's
subtract
very
these two
simple.
numbers.
Well, we're looking at the screen.
Well, we're
so
doing
it's
it
easy
the other
for
way.
They're
We're
trying to
doing
do
it
it without the
obtuse
number that
way.
I have on.
Oh.
Yeah, we're.
Wait, so we gave it away by giving that number, didn't we?
Now it keeps screwing it up. one time I get syntax error, and the next I get just 1.
Sorry, I think I messed that up by giving it. Yeah, we messed it up by giving away the hypotenuse.
3302 squared. No, hold on. Do it all at once. Square root.
Well, yeah.
3302 squared. That's not right.
Bridge now. Request we hold position. Thank you.
50
And now
squared.
we wait.
That should work. Yes. 3365. And how much cable do we have out?
3381 right now. Before it was different, though.
So according to this, then you take this and subtract 3305. Oh no. What is
So it'd
that?
be like
05.
60 something.
Yeah, only 60 meters in the ground.
You're muted.
60, Roger.
Well, but we're
You're muted.
20 meters above the ground.
Wait, who's
so we'd
muted?
only be 40 meters in the
Right,
ground.
right. But there was a trick in there.
If any of our followers want to try to answer the question,
That was
go
humbling.
ahead.
I don't think we wrote a very good question.
Yeah, we kind of messed it up.
I think we're all ready to sleep.
What?
Yeah.
What? Like burned a solid 7 minutes or 5 minutes? It's good.
What is that?
What's that?
Do you want to zoom?
Looks like a fish.
Who is that?
Oh, the fish next to some
looks like
trash.
trash.
It's
Trash.
a garbaggio.
Trash. That's being logged.
Dirt.
And a fish.
Log fish position.
Is that a white fish next to his
Yeah,
shadow?
maybe, yeah.
Or
They're like-
two fish?
Oh, I think there was 2 fish, one on the right, one on the left.
It's like the same color contrast that we were seeing in the rocks. Really light ones and really dark ones.
We didn't account for the bathymetry, though, when we were calculating that.
That's true.
That's too much. That's right. What is the depth under the ship?
Depth under the ship was at 25 meters less than Argus.
There were a couple of gotchas in our problem. Went right
Yeah.
over them. Failed the test.
I think it was a poorly written question.
It was open-ended.
He's good for a laugh.
What are you laughing at?
This is amazing. Do you know this one?
This song?
Yeah.
No.
You listening to it?
Oh, no.
It's a hilarious song.
I'd just like to say welcome back to the watch to Allison, who's visiting.
Yay.
Down to about 600 meters of layback.
So layback just means the distance that the ROV is trailing behind the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Linear distance.
Yep.
Copy that.
Very cheesy.
So in your experience when using Herc, have you found like plastic debris?
All over the place.
Yeah, all over.
What's the most common thing that you've seen?
For plastics,
Uh-huh.
bags, like grocery bags, I think, are quite
Yeah.
common.
Bags and cups. And lots of
Yeah,
cup
solo
things.
cups type stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of it doesn't sink though, so it's we really with Herc we only see stuff that sinks. A lot of it's just kind of like floating around out there.
Hmm.
Some good rocks.
We have rocks.
Yay!
They're pretty sparse in terms of things growing on them.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't noticed too much like of the larger fauna, corals or sponges.
I bet you there's microbes.
Probably.
It makes me appreciate the dive sites that are chosen
Yeah.
for biology.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they feel sparse, but then you come somewhere like here and you're like, oh, yeah, that was a hot spot for sure.
Yeah. Welcome to the people from Samoa that are following us.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. And of course, people from Australia and Barbados, Belgium, Canada, New Zealand, Turkey, the UK, Netherlands, and the United States.
That is so cool.
That's super cool.
I'm hoping some of them are, we had tours the first day we pulled in, and
Oh, yeah.
Dan and I took around, it was 12, I believe, school children
Oh, cool.
And yeah, they were very inquisitive, and we told them to tune in, so.
I'd be curious to know if they're watching from American Samoa or Western Samoa.
What's that?
I'd be curious just to know whether they're in American Samoa or an independent Samoa.
Yeah, if it's Western, it's not the same kids. Unless they took a quick hop on the plane.
Those flights are
Be a
really fun, though.
field trip.
Yeah, it's not that long.
We have someone from Portugal as well. Welcome. Thanks for following us.
Good morning.
And good morning, yeah. What time is it there?
It is
Portugal.
Kind of
They're
lost.
probably at least 10 or 11 hours ahead, right?
Well, UTC is 6, or is 0600, so it's probably like,
Which is Greenwich, so maybe an
it's probably like,
hour off of that?
yeah, 5 a.m. No, I'm sorry, 7 a.m.
Okay.
Other direction. To guess. It could be
Morning.
it could be in GMT, Portugal.
Let us know what time it is in the question bar if you're
I
watching
think
in
Portugal's
Portugal.
in the Greenwich time zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of maps.
Because it's slightly to the west of England.
It's like I know the general, like, I know the layout and I know where the countries are, but if you try to tell them, like, which one's due north of
Yeah.
another, I'm not going to get it right. So, I'm going to wait probably until Argus is about, like,
Yeah.
100, 150
Yeah, whatever
meters
you
behind
think
us.
works best, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Or maybe a little bit more. This would be one of the turns they can't compare to. Not because it's so good, but because they're not going to do another one for a while.
Yeah, we're just doing 90 degrees instead of 180.
Hot in here now, isn't it?
Yeah. I just realized that the nav calculator is actually labeled nav calc.
There you go.
You guys have your pens and we have our calculator.
I thought you said it was a nav calculator knowing that.
Oh no, I just knew it was. It's always over here. It's what
Oh,
we use
yeah.
for time, speed, distance for either getting places or launch and recovery.
his one job.
Is the assistant to the Argus pilot
Yes.
messing up again?
He's messing up his one job. Although he can do this job, maybe.
I don't think it's time for
Is
this
it?
job.
Pilot.
Oh, it's
When
early.
did you do it last?
Did it at 6:40.
Oh.
Well, I'll keep it. I'll do it in a minute.
640. That's in the future.
That's right. Can you check that thing?
What thing?
The little unit by your water bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Smack it or something.
Maybe you did it from across the international date line.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Well, he's
because
talking local time, 6:40 p.m.
Oh, local time.
oh,
I didn't
we're
think the
on a-
van operates in local time.
Nope.
ROV logs operate in local time.
Yes, they do.
Well, that's interesting because I thought we operated in military time too.
Depends on who's
It's
logging
18.
it.
I don't know what
It's 1840.
6 in the afternoon means.
No, we do 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
Then what's
so it would
640?
be 1840.
It's 18, yeah.
It's like when someone says the left of the ship, you're like, no.
No.
You mean
No.
the what? Yeah.
When we're doing pre-dives.
What the heck? Oh my god.
Yeah, we're close to the end of our watch.
Where is that coming from?
Stupid button.
Don't worry about it.
There's a button for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Honestly.
So how does the data logger decide which things to log?
You mean like as identifying targets or just in general what to log?
In general.
Oh, in general? Okay. So a lot of it is just listening to the communication that's going on around us. So a lot of times the scientists will identify the targets from the side sonar. And then I'll help record down details such as vehicle depth, vehicle altitude, position, and notes like that. So in case we want to go back and relook at them, we know exactly what to look and what we expect to look. I also take notes on where we are navigational-wise, so what the ship is doing, what Argus is doing, which helps us with, again, with the side sonar data. But then also keeping track if something does go wrong, then we know what the events leading up to that, if there is anything that could give us a clue to figure out what the issue was and how to fix it. I'm also paying a lot of attention to the Argus screen, so we are pretty close to the seafloor, so as we've been trekking along, I've been keeping notes on if the seafloor is matching with what the side sonar is capturing as well, and so far it looks like it is, so the term for that would be like ground truthing the side sonar data.
Cool, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was Rebecca, the data logger for our shift, for the people that are following us.
Bridge now. Request we track a line bearing 152 at 1 knot. Feel free to change your heading as needed. Yes, we're headed to the selected target right off of the selected line. Thank you.
Are those just rocks?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, get it scanning the right way.
That is some pile of rock, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's so isolated, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might change heading. I gave Martino liberty to do what she needs to do.
Well, that's weird.
That is very weird. That is not a rock. Is
I'm going to
it?
mark it as a target, but I think it's a rock.
Yeah.
So this is 100 meters to port.
Roger that.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, those patterns don't seem to be just random. Huh.
Wait, hold on. That looks weird.
Yeah.
So I have two now.
Oh, okay. Which one was the first 30?
This is the first one.
This is, okay. Can you scoot the screen over to the left a little bit? I can't quite see the ping number.
Yeah. And the other one was about 40 meters to starboard.
40 to starboard, roger.
And the description for this first one?
3 regular rises.
Okay.
I'm not really even sure.
Should be getting better, but watching that wire angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that in here.
It just we swung, but Argus is still coming back, so it should relieve a little bit of that.
Would it be helpful if I zoomed in on
like they're spinning.
All right, I'm ready for the next.
All right, hold on. Let me save this.
Yeah, so what we're going to be
Other
doing is we
one.
just spun straight into the forces
What's this? Look at these
so that we can
things.
scoot sideways.
This stuff
Yeah,
is
those
weird
are
to me.
really weird.
Oh, she's going around the long way.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Okay, you'll have to take that out.
All right.
Yep.
Ping.
So this is 31 and 30? 30 and 31?
Yes.
Yes.
That stuff looks very strange to me.
Do you have a description for this other one?
Uh,
Besides looks strange.
Very strange.
It's the stuff on the left. It looks like right angles. Just put right angle.
Right angles. Observe.
Blocky object with right angles.
One of these times we're going to see something that's not on a turn.
All right.
Maybe. I doubt
Wait,
it.
Nate, can I copy down that? Oops.
Are you good?
Well, we're gonna go
No, I
down.
need to copy down
where we did
the
some of our turns now, so we'll get
latitude and longitude real
okay.
quick.
Yep.
be better coverage.
Now, and if this is an area that's fairly rocky, so if there's debris up against rock, you know, it probably look like this.
All right, I am good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure those were all saved. So I'm gonna go do this, and yes. That's so weird.
That's super interesting. It wanted
Yeah.
So Argus is still on the line, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
for
Okay.
a few more minutes. Man, we saw nothing in Argus though, right? Like the video?
No.
I didn't
It's
see
bizarre.
nothing like that. I
Maybe
feel like
a
there's a
couple
fish on
rocks.
there right now, but
Well, that's not helpful. If I had to make a decision, like right now, I would dive on those.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And they're like in close proximity, so if it's debris, like it would be
This is really cool.
appropriately near each other, as opposed to some of the other stuff that we found.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people following us, in channel 1 you will see the images from our side scan sonar, and we did see some very interesting features there that we just tagged as a possible dive site for later on. And welcome and good morning for the people in Europe that started following us just now. So how many targets do we have so far?
We just got numbers 30 and 31.
Perfect. Those are very interesting targets.
And then our bonus funny tall target.
And then there's that one that apparently they typed in, but they missed logging on when it was coming down the waterfall. That's pretty funny. Well, it's funny, tall, and it's a target.
Yeah, so I guess that was logged by Rennie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just not given a number because it wouldn't correlate with
Yeah.
one of the side scan targets.
Gotcha.
Alright, we've compensated and now we have our line set